Hello Toastmasters and guests, a very good morning and welcome to another exciting meeting of Quantum Leap. I'm serving as a de facto Sergeant at Arms, so I would like to call the meetings in order. Few ground rules to follow. We request everyone to turn on your videos so that we can have a better interaction. You mute your mics unless you are asked to do so. Three topics which we encourage not to discuss about. First one is politics, second one is religion, and third one is sex. So with that, let's begin the Quantum Leaps meeting. For that, I would like to hand over the charge to the president of the club. He is the distinguished Toastmaster, a legendary Toastmaster. Please welcome distinguished Toastmaster, DTM Safri. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Imran Rana. What a wonderful introduction and energetic start you have taken today for Quantum Leap. Well, Toastmasters, today we are going to have 16 meeting, and this meeting in lieu of our previous month meeting. Since we call off the previous week meeting due to our District 122 event, council meeting and other things. So now we have meeting number 16, and I would like to acknowledge the presence of Toastmaster Khurram Saeed. He is none other than the champion of District 122, year 2022. Give a big round of applause. At the same time, let me take this opportunity to call Toastmaster Khurram Saeed Chishti. The feeling after getting the title of Pakistan champion. And Toastmaster Khurram Saeed Chishti, you have 2 minutes to speak.
Thank you, Mr. President. For sure, having any title, is an honor and an immense pleasure. So definitely, I'm feeling very excited, very honored, very more confident about myself that yes, I can do it. In parallel, I feel it very responsible on the fact that being the champion is not just a day of a winner. It means that I have a responsibility that how I can engage more Toastmasters in, how I can inspire others to be a good public speaker. So it's a pleasure, it's a responsibility, and I love actually the journey, and it will continue. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Khurram Saeed. What a humble personality you had. Well, Toastmaster is any business. Yes, Toastmaster Imran.
I just turned on my video.
Oh, you turn on your video. Okay, it's okay. So let's move to, if there is no business, let's move to our education session. And education session is going to be led by a person who's not getting sleep, and he forced other not to sleep. Very humble, and our champion, Toastmaster Khurram Saeed Chishti, the Toastmaster of the day. Over to you, Toastmaster Khurram Saeed Chishti.
Thank you, Mr. President. Actually, I'm just struggling with a small technical glitch, and if you allow me a minute to transfer to my laptop, that would be great.
It's totally up to you now. Charge with you.
Okay, so let me start here. and I will during the other sessions I will move on to my other device. Thank you, Mr. President. Hello, fellow Toastmasters. Today we are talking about black holes. These are a great creation from God, which are still under a question mark of humankind. Have you ever thought that how the black holes come into existence? What are the roundabouts of black holes, what they can do? The one hint I will give you that these are the entities in the universe that can even pull electromagnetic waves and even light. So just stick around, and soon I will talk more about black holes. And now, before that, we'll move to our education session of Geek of the Week. And Geek of the Week this week is going to led by a person who is a master of all trade. So I would call upon Ms. DTM Sudarshan to lead us with the Geek of the Week session.
I think Sudarshan is not around. And since we have Toastmaster Mubina, so he is going to take over as a language evaluator. Toastmaster Mubina, do you agree? Where she is?
Yeah, okay, fine, I'll take. What is the word of the day?
What is?
So it is ingenious, and I think so. If you have another word, Toastmaster Mubina, you can suggest us. Always, you have great words with you. So in the agenda, the word is ingenious, and you can select or choose another word. So let's move on to role introduction of Toastmaster Mubina, and Toastmaster Mubina, you can suggest the word. Over to you.
Well, the word of the day for all Toastmasters, erudite. I'll select the word. Erudite means a fluent, interesting way of. It's an adjective, and it means communicative, good, pleasant to talk to, and yes, that is the meaning. I'm doing this all just a few seconds within my mind is still not into it, but anyway, that is the meaning. We all veteran good Toastmasters like DTM Saif Ali Sheikh is an erudite Toastmaster. Back to you, Mr. Facilitator.
Thank you.
Sorry for...
Thank you, language evaluator. That's a word which I have heard for the first time. So definitely that's a great input. Now we are move to another role reduction, and it's a timekeeper. And the person who's now leading the timekeeping, if any time in future there is a championship of being a timekeeper contest, he would definitely be a world champion of being a timekeeper. And he is none other than Toastmaster Imran Rana.
Thank you so much. The current champion of District 122, Toastmaster Forum Said Jishpi. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, as a timer, my role is to make sure that the meeting proceedings are on time. There will be different timing for different segments. For keynote speech, the speech is from 18 to 20 minutes. DTM Anish, right? Just give me a thumbs up.
Yes, it is right, but this is my project of question answer session. So it would be between the 15 and 20 minutes.
So 15-minute speech and 5 minutes for Q&A session, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. So do you want me to give signal at 13, 14, 15 for speech? Okay, great. And if a speech of from 5 to 7 minutes, my background screen will turn into green at 5 and yellow at 6 and red at 7. All you needed to please pin the timer screen so that you can complete your finish within time. For table topics, the speaker has to speak from 1 to 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I'll turn on my background will change into green. At 1.5, yellow. At 2, red. This red color means 30 seconds are left to complete or wrap up your speech. After that, you will be disqualified for the voting. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Mr. Timer. Fellow Toastmasters, black holes. Do you know how the black holes are born? Originally, black holes are stars. And with any star is extending its radiation all across the universe. And when the core of a star becomes unstable, either it pulled in or extended out, and that create the black hole. Now, the important thing to understand here, everybody knows about atom, that what the atom is, and it is a small thing that even we cannot see it by our naked eye. We not even with a small microscope. We need a big electronic microscope to see an atom. There are in our universe black holes equal to the size of atoms, but those black holes which are equal to the size of the atoms are weighing equal to a big mountain. Yes, so that's how the nature of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala works. So small atom size black holes are there, and they are equal to the size of mountains. So with this, we'll talk more around black holes, and I'll move on to our next education session. That education section we always enjoy a lot in our meetings. It always a learning experience, an experience of pleasure. And today, this learning experience is going to be discussed by our none other than our dear Toastmaster, who is a very passionate person. He was very in front line during the districts competitions, supporting so many roles. He is our Toastmaster, Ali Asher Anjum. With a great round of applause, our distinguished Toastmaster, Ali Asher Anjum, and he is leading today a keynote speech of density to destiny. Over to you, DTM.
Let me first open my slides. So, host, can you please help give me the sharing rights so I can share my screen?
Now you have the sharing rights. I have made you the co-host.
I hope my screen is available to is visible to all of you. Am I audible? Am I
Yes,
audible now?
Yes, you're audible and visible.
Okay. Good morning, Toastmasters and guests. Today, the theme of the meeting is revolving around black holes. And being a student and a scholar of social sciences, it is a quite difficult task for me to relate with this theme. But you know, that universe is quite complex, but very simple. You can relate each and everything with it, and everything is relative to everything. So today we are going to discuss the relationship between the black hole and love, with the theme then destiny, density to destiny. As you all know, my name is Ali Asharanjan, and I am currently working as Research Associate at Institute for Historical and Social Research. So let me start my today's presentation with a story. A story of an ambitious boy who was ambitious, curious, and want to know many things, and have baffling mind. And with that ambition, he was walking towards the river without knowing anything. He was walking, walking, and walking. Suddenly, a man came and said, "Oh, wait, wait, where are you going?" The boy said that yes, I am going towards because I love the water. I find this very attractive and captivating. The man said, "Okay, yes, you are right. It's beautiful. It's mesmerizing. But you don't know the depth of this water. What if you fall into it?" Boy was perplexed at that moment. Think for a while and say, "Okay, dear, from now onwards, you are my mentor." And then the stories continue from a boy to a teenager, and a day comes when he fall in love. He fall in love and rushed to his mentor and said, "Mentor, mentor, I fall in love." He said that love is just like the first step of the love is your choice. Then love is blind. But once you step into it, you will lost. So, as my mentee, you know that I am quite fascinated with the universe. So let me give you an example of black hole. Love is like black hole. If you step into it, you will get lost. Mentor, what is black hole? Auntie, it is a region in a space where the pulling force of gravity is so strong that light is not able to escape. And if you have a density, if you are a matter, it is going to attract you. Just like love. If you have something in your heart, you might fall into it. But if you have nothing, you won't. The stories continue. The mentee asks what love is made from. We say trust. So what is this trust? Trust is the most simple and the complex thing. You cannot describe it with some set of words. You cannot describe it. But you can explain it. Love is like oxygen in the air. We notice it only by its absence. You won't consider anyone that he is your friend or not, but once you lost trust on them, you can put that, okay, these persons are not my friends. So my friend, the phenomena of universe is usually understand by the absence instead of the existence. You know about the black holes? Black hole where it absorbs lights, radiation, but still we can see them. You know why? How? Because around that black hole, you can see the stars. And through those stars, we can feel that something is empty between them. And that is a black hole. And all is just due to the high energy lights. The conversation was going and pointers and on other extent. The mentee asked how love and hate will expand. The mentor said, you are what you eat. Your relationship is how you treat others, how you behave and act. You can not be a lover of someone by saying, I love you twice a day. But you can be a lover, a loyal person, a friend by tiny actions, behaviors of compassion, trust, loyalty, and sincerity. You can treat you cannot become a bodybuilder by working 9 hours continuously, but you can be you can become a star by working 20 minutes for 9 months. You cannot wash your teeth by a cleaning them for continuously 20 hours. But you have to give 5 minutes each day. Love is whenever there is a space between something, a vacuum, make your place there. It will create the and it will expand with time, and the mass and density of your relationship will going to be concentrated with love if you give love, hate if you give hate, just like a black hole. That once the black hole is born, the black hole can be bigger, and even the other black holes can fall into it. and that's at creating the black hole. So my dear, whatever we are is what we are from our inside and what we are absorbing. The next question by the mentee to the mentor. What is the final destination of the love? So mentor said it's first let actualize the love. When you fall into it, now you are became a part of it. There is not something like I and you. It's about we. The relationship where expectations should be met, but it's not necessary. The every objective of life is mutual and singular. Let me share my personal stories here. Toastmasters, when my a final result of any day was disclosed, I was not at home at that time. I was with my friends. It usually my mother slept around 10 to 10:30, but that day she was not slept yet due to me. I rushed to her and she was crying. And she said that you got the second position in any university. You know, dear, I always wanted some of my children get this. But you know, for last 21 years or the 22 years, she never spoke to me like that. She never showed her concern that I want your second position. Yes, she was expecting something from me, but if I couldn't make it, it is not going to hinder her love. She will always love me for whatever I am. And this is unconditionality. Without any expectation. We have always expectation in our relationships. But if it's not going to fulfill, it's okay. Because there is something that is singular. It can be a cause, a goal, a vision, mission, or something. And here's the concept of singularity of the black hole. The center of black hole, where the place a matter is compressed down to an infinity tiny point, and all conception of time and space completely break, just like love. If you can actualize the love, now you just love. You're not concerned about the time and space. Nothing. Your love is eternal, but not you. And that is the concept of singularity in the black hole. What is the final destination? Love. You know what love is. You knew that how it is built with time. You know that how it is actualized. What is the final destination? To provide a pathway to others to get into love. To provide a gateway to a new universe. To share with others. And And that is the reason we all are here in this group. Just like some of the scientists say that if you get into the black hole, you might get lost, but you also might get into a new universe, a new world where the everything great. It's depend on you. What is your world X is? So to conclude that thing, that if you don't have density, so the black hole is not going to pull you. You have something in you, the gesture of compassion, and the bigger would be of your mass. If your density is too high, you might collapse into yourself like a star, and then you will become a black hole to become a gateway for others to get into the other universe. So to conclude that, your density determines your destiny. How dense you are intellectually and morally. And if you are just like a star, your life, when you are alive, you are there to guide people. A man in a forest have nothing but a guidance of a star who are paving a pathway to the rescue. And when the star is collapsed, it became an inspiration to get into the other universe. So, like a black hole is a part of a legacy of a collapsed star, my dears. So be like that star with bigger density. And please, when you go, have some legs. That's all from my side. If you have any question, please, I can love to answer them.
Hello, Toastmasters. Please feel free to ask questions to our keynote speaker.
Okay, DTM Tala, please. DTM Tala.
Toastmaster Talab, please ask your question. Okay, can I ask one question?
Yes.
You're just 21 or 22 years old. How this concept come to your mind?
I am 25 years old. First thing is that okay.
Still young to think
Yes.
about the
Yes.
about that.
Okay. So the thing is that I am a student of social sciences accidentally. I completed my pre-engineering and want to be an engineer or a scientist. But my marks were not that good, but I have a good concept of science and all such things. And this is my belief that the whole universe is a is for us to learn, and we can relate each and everything with it. You know that I still remember in our sociology class, so our teacher said that everything have some relation with everything. You know that there are Nobel gases in uh, some periodic table. They not react or make compounds because they are noble. And we related this thing with the conflict theory, theory of Karl Marx. Similarly, the the ionic bond, covalent bond, all are related. Even when the body of human being that are we have hands, legs, eyes, ears, and every everyone have a certain function to do. And here comes the theory of functionalism of sociology, that every key character in this world is important. So you cannot undeem anyone. So I guess my journey and my teachers and my mentors and you all made me to think for such concepts.
Thank you, DTM Talha. Do you have a question? Can you unmute yourself, please?
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for that keynote, DTM Ali. I am at Islamabad airport, so apologies for the breakages and the clearly not good voice, but can hear me. How on earth did you come up with this analogy between black holes and falling in love?
Okay, so this
One never imagined that there could be a parallel, but now after your keynote, it seems as if it's the most natural thing in the world. So what led you to it?
okay, so it is all come up with the mistake, I guess, that my last speech was about the unconditional love, and that was not perceived good. Some of its points. So I want to rectify it. Now I get a chance to speak on it, it on the this keynote speech. So so the 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 the, the original title was about love, basically. But when I came to know that okay, the thing is black hole, so I start learning about the black holes, that how it is formed, how what are its elements like singularity, the disk, and uh, event horizon. And then I think as love was on my mind, whenever what I start reading about the black holes, I start making connections and connecting the dots. Okay, I can use this thing. Then this is relatable to this. This is relatable to this. So that's how I guess I come up with this analogy that the black holes and love are quite similar.
What a great answer. I have one question, DTM Ali Ashar. As you know about the black holes, and they have the event horizon, but the relations could be a toxic relation or a healthy relation.
Yes.
So how we can judge, looking into this analogy, before crossing the event horizon, then there is no way back, that it's a toxic one or not?
Okay, that is a great question, and I was anticipating it. So the thing is that the first step of love is your choice. But once you step in, you will get lost. Like there is a question that black hole might eat the earth also. They say no, because it will only absorb things that are in its region or the event horizon. So the first step should be a rational one, because you fall in love with someone due to some rational reason. Might be due to their beauty, their intelligence, their communication. So the first step of love cannot be like this. It needs some rational, and that's rational helps you to opt whether you are going to step into the event horizon or not. But once you step in, the love is blind.
Thank you, DTM Ali. Is there any other question in the house for DTM Ali?
Just a comment. For throughout life, I have been reading about love being nothing. Love has nothing to do with rationality. And today I discovered, thanks to DTM Alieshwar, that you can be rational before falling in love, which is hard, I think, quite difficult. From what I've been reading throughout or experiencing. Thank you for this awesome presentation, DTM Ali.
Thank you.
Thank you, DTM Ali Asher. A big round of applause for our keynote speaker. Fellow Toastmasters, you just learned about a great analogy of love and black holes. And in parallel, you learn a lot about black holes instead as well. So as we were talking about the event horizon is the point when you cross it, there is no way back. Now it means you are in the black hole in a unidirectional way. And the interesting thing to share with you is that inside the black hole, scientists believe that the time works very differently. It means if you are inside the black hole, you will see that the time has stopped for you, but the whole universe is moving very fast. So you being kind of a time traveler. And that's what we have seen in one of the movie, Interstellar. For your information, stellars are the second name of black holes. And the last fact before we go to our next segment is that the scientists believe that if you replace any black hole from our present sun, do you think the universe will collapse? The scientists didn't believe that. They say our solar system will work as it is. The only thing, we will be dead by ice and will freeze because there is no sunlight to warm us up. So with this note, we are moving to our segment of prepared speeches. And with the notion of ice, today we have an ice-breaking speech. Now, this person today is Mr. Umar Shahid. He's a mechanical engineer. He lives in Kingdom of Saudi Arabia since 2015. He is a lubricant sales petroleum professional. He joined Toastmasters last year, May, He's the ex-vice president of education for Discovery Toastmaster in Khobar. Please give a big round of applause for Toastmaster Umar for his ice-breaking speech.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Sorry, good morning, everyone.
Are you?
There is a little change, Mr. Toastmaster, TMOD. Instead of Toastmaster DTM Sudarshan, may I request Toastmaster Rabia to take over the role of commendations to Toastmaster Umar Said. Rabia, you are with us. Toastmaster Rabia, you are with us.
Okay, sure.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, and can please the timer just pin the time on the screen? So before you start.
I will pin the timer. Is the timer has been pinned for you now?
No,
it is,
to be honest.
Karachi Toastmaster is Toastmaster Imran Rana.
Oh, okay. He's coming on the top, but he's not coming on the main screen. Is still you. You are. I mean, your face is there on the big screen.
Toastmaster Imran Rana, can you highlight yourself? While you are doing that, I will call upon the evaluator for Toastmaster Umar Shahid. He is none other than our president of Quantum Leap, president of Lahore Toastmaster Club, mentor of many district winners, our well-known Toastmaster DTM Saif Ali Sheikh. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Khurram Saeed Chishti. And fellow Toastmaster Umar Saeed. He is erudite Toastmaster, and he is going to attempt his ice breaking. And I don't know the path which he is attempting. Icebreaker basically is to introduce with yourself to the members, and time for ice breaking speech 4 to 6 minutes. Over to Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster DTM Saif Ali Sheikh. Mr. Toastmaster Umar Shahid, do you, I'm sorry, I don't have your title of the speech.
The title of the speech, to be honest, I did not even decide that myself.
Okay, so we'll say it icebreaker.
Let's call it icebreaker.
So fellow Toastmaster, it's TM Umar Shahid icebreaker. Icebreaker Toastmaster Umar Shahid. Stage is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Khurram, and good morning, everyone, once again. Let's call it the road to discovery. So let me take you on a journey through the past. About the 30 years of my life that seemed to go very fast. Without the slightest of ideas that a poet I would become, I was being gifted poetry on birthday cards when I was 1. And I read one. It was from my paternal aunt, and she said, a box inside a box. And in that box, we found someone. Our Umar right here is 1 in a million. I was like, wow, they really seem to love me a lot. It was quite later that I realized I wasn't special. I was just the first in the lot. But it wasn't until grade 7 that I would realize that I had the gift of poetry, to my teacher's surprise. There was a competition in our school on Mother's Day, and everyone was encouraged to write what they had to say. So I wrote a great poem and made a nice card and submitted that. Now, I was expecting some praise or maybe a gift, but instead, you've been called to the teacher's office, the principal's office, is what my teacher said. Scared and surprised, I quietly knocked her door. From her looks, what she was going to say, I still wasn't sure. Did you write this yourself? My principal asked. And that is the worst thing a poet can be asked. Yes, ma'am, I said, while feeling a bit offended. But after that, she praised me and my work she commended. They hung up that poem on a notice board in the girls section of the school. And that was the first time I felt really cool. But this feeling of being cool, it quickly gets to your head. And I should have known better, but hey, it was grade 7. So here's what I did instead. Knowing that I had my teacher's full confidence that all her doubts had been defeated, I decided to surprise them with another great piece of poetry. But this time, I cheated. I had a book on poetry at my home that I used, or should I say, misused. And when my teacher found out and said, "Did you write this yourself again?" I was really confused. But I knew that I couldn't lie, so to only honesty I had to resort. And after being disqualified, I was heartbroken. And I stopped writing poetry. And I thought this gift I had lost. Until I was in my university, going through phases of self-discovery, that I got interested in poetry again and started the road to recovery. I was learning about my religion and realized that between the previous generation and ours, there were significant gaps. And it struck me, why don't I use poetry to give the same wisdom in a modern way, perhaps? And it worked. I went on to win a poetry competition in school in Pakistan. So I was pretty much back in the game. I went on to write more than 30 pieces in just a few years. But this time, I was beware of fame. I didn't want to let it get the best of me because I felt that a huge responsibility I carried. But all the passion and enthusiasm suddenly came to an end the day I got married. My wife often asks me, why don't I write like I used to do before? I don't know if it was the added responsibility or the change of environment or anything else. I'm still not sure. But I have kept in touch with it because just like everyone else, I have had to face some hardships in my life from time to time. And it was in those moments that I felt peace by pondering over the purpose of life and writing a rhyme. I was fortunate enough to have good mentors who helped and guided me along the way. And one of them introduced me to Toastmasters. And just after a few weeks over here, this is what I had to say. If it's public speaking skills that you're looking to master, I really recommend that you become a Toastmaster. You'll be kept well disciplined by the sergeant at arms, but be careful not to annoy him or you might lose an arm. To climb the ladder of success, you'll be given a pathway. Your instructor always ready to help you along the way. To boost your confidence, you'll be often called on stage, where you'll be shown no mercy, whether you're a philosopher or a sage. But be careful, because lurking around in the dark are some predators, and you as the prey have been marked. Cleverly disguised, they just hide in plain sight, having perfect hearing, though I'm not so sure about the sight. Some ready to pounce upon every or you say. When they're out on the hunt, it's hard to get away. Some trained in Germany, grammar Nazis being their name. They correct grammar for torture, not more for money or fame. Some ready for you to make the gravest of crimes, and that, my friend, is losing track of your time. To top it all off, we even have someone called the general evaluator. I mean, is this a coincidence that this word happens to rhyme with the Terminator? And if you thought that you couldn't learn any faster, then wait till you meet the table topics master. Because no matter how old you are, you'll have to become a child. Besides shivering on stage, your imagination has to run wild. But don't worry, if on stage you severely start to sweat, you've got nothing to lose. Besides your respect, jokes apart, every person has a bit of stage fright. Even birds are afraid before making their first flight. All in all, this is a great place to have some fun and well thought out plans for serious learning. Because a place where you can express yourself freely without being judged is something that everyone is yearning. Here, we're all the same. There's no discrimination based on race, color, or nationality. And that is what makes Toastmaster one big family. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Umar Shahid. What a great great way of delivering an icebreaker. I'd like to call the lead evaluator, DTM Saif Ali Sheikh. The stage
Thank
is
you very
yours.
much. Thank you very much, Mr. TMOD, and in particular, Toastmaster Umar Shahid. What a wonderful opening, and you have moving from one point to another point to another point, creating a fun, inducting a joke, and you engage all the time for the 6 minutes. I totally forgotten that I'm your evaluator. It is a perfect ice-breaking speech I have noticed today, Toastmaster Umar, and it's a road to discovery and purpose of the life. And your first poem was at the age of 7, grade 7, when you was in a grade 7, and the first poem is placed on the notice board of the girls' side. I don't know what was the poetry you have written, and your principals decided to place on the girls' side. I don't know. It is a love or discovery or black hole and the destination. I think it's all moving one to another point. And as Ashir told about the love is the rational things, but I believe the love is blind. So with the due respect to Toastmaster Mobina, so love is always blind. There is no need to think about anything. Toastmaster Umar Shahid, let's move to another side. What is the purpose of the icebreaker? To know you better. From your speech, I know you from the one side only. What is your passion and how you pursue to your passion and how you pursue to the happiness. But the other side, we totally miss. How many siblings you are, what the parents are doing, and how you fall in love, and how many of, see, the great evaluators with me now. So it's a totally, we want to see that how many kids you have it. Overall, it's a wonderful speech. And only one suggestion for you is that just take up pauses. Your speed is just like the women are speaking 190 words per minute. Take it pauses, slow it down, so audience can understand what you are saying. Let me call our commendations part. May I request Toastmaster Imran Rana to do the commendation. You have 1 minute.
Yes, thank you so much, lead evaluator DTM Saif Sheikh. I just want to congratulate you on delivering such an amazing, such an engaging, a masterpiece icebreaker speech. Your strong points are your vocal variety, your vocabulary, and above all, your poetry. I thoroughly loved your speech. DTM Saif rightly said that myself also forgot that I am one of the evaluator, but brilliant speech, brilliant icebreaker. Means I'm speechless and just wanted to give you applause. Amazing speech. All the best. Sir, you need to unmute yourself.
Thank you, Toastmaster Imran Rana. Let me request Toastmaster Rabia Zishan to do the commendations. And Toastmaster Rabia, you have 1 minute.
Thank you so much, GTM sir. Toastmaster Umar You were fabulous today. I'm so glad that I joined this meeting in time to hear this wonderful, amazing icebreaker from you. You had emotions and actions even in your voice. Even if I was not looking at you, I could hear the different um, actions in your voice as well. So that was amazing. You were acting as well, and while giving your speech, your body language was amazing. I just hope I could have seen a little more of it, but it was amazing the way you were looking here and there and acting, and the way you came forward and shouted when the principal said, amazingly done. And amazing vocabulary, as Toastmaster Imran just said. It was a masterpiece. Thoroughly loved it, enjoyed it. It was a new way of giving it's I should not call it a speech. It was a perfectly amazing, ice-breaking poem, I can say, poetry. And it was wonderful to hear it from you. I'm glad I joined this meeting today. Thank you for that.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Rabia. Let's move to the recommendation. May I request DTM Ali Ashraf to do the recommendation side, and you have 1 minute.
Thank you, sir. So the ice-breaking speech by Toastmaster Umar Shahid. Congratulations for breaking the ice, first of all, and how you can improve your speech. I have 2 points for it. First, stand and deliver, where it will help you to have a space and the reflect your confidence also. Second thing is your pace of voice. You can optimize it accordingly. We just listen to your speech and just think that where you can play with the pace. Overall, you deliver it very well. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, DTM Ali Ashraf. Let's move to Toastmaster Khurram for the recommendations, and you have 1 minute, Toastmaster Khurram.
Thank you, lead evaluator. Toastmaster Umar Shahid, a great speech with a great rhyming. My recommendations are, number 1, on the online forum, you must consider there is a light on your head which make your face quite dark. Your lighting position must be there. You are looks like that you are leaning down and you are looking down to the camera in a way. It should be in a front way, so you are look like talking in front of your eyes. And seconding the recommendation of our other part, that if you are standing, we can see your body gesture. I see a less of facial expressions. And secondly, the background is very abrupted. The door is half open. There is something on the back. Your shirt is white with the half background white. So it creates quite of a disturbance. So a solid background would help a lot to make you more prominent than others. So that's my recommendation for the next speech. Overall, a very great speech, and I will steal with integrity and pride some of the ideas from you. Thank you.
Thank you, much, Toastmaster Khurram. Let me ask the evaluators. Toastmaster Umar Shahid, you have 1 minute. The speaker, Toastmaster Umar Shahid, yes, you have 1 minute.
What is this for again? Sorry.
For your comments.
Oh, okay. Nothing. I just have to say that thank you so much. I completely agree with everything that you guys said. Yes, vocal variety is my strong suit, but I have an issue with the speaking too fast. This is a constantly reminded issue in my current club as well, and I'm trying to work on that slowly. The problem was that this speech I had written before, and I was very short on time. If it was a 7-minute speech, I would have paced myself. I actually, in the morning, I revised it, and I was going in a slower pace. I was going to 6 minutes and 41 seconds, which I did not want to do. So I had to speed up a bit and make it to 6 minutes. But I completely agree that it has to be slowed down so the audience is engaged in a better way, as you said. and plus the background as well. And yes, my laptop is slightly lower than my face, so I'm looking at maybe a 30-degree slant, and that is something I can work on as well, inshallah, next time. Thank you for your recommendations.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Umar Shahid. Let's have a timer report.
Okay, do we have no second speaker?
Speaker and the evaluators.
Okay, so the speaker took 6 minutes and 11 seconds, so he is qualified. DTM Saf in his lead evaluation took 2 minutes and 11 seconds. Then my recommendation is of 1 minute. Toastmaster Mubina took 1 minute. Then Toastmaster Rabia took 1 minute, and then Toastmaster Ali Ashar took 59 seconds, and finally Toastmaster Khurram Said Chishti took 1 minute and 11 seconds. And the speaker responded within 1 minute. Over to you.
These all are qualified. So there is no need to cast the vote since we have the one speaker. So by default, all are winners. So let's, by this, I hand over control back
Excuse
to
me.
our. Yes, please.
I am the second speaker.
In the agenda, there is no, your name is not mentioned. That's the reason I just mentioned the one speaker.
I don't know because
Toastmaster Mubina just messaged me that she wanted to speak. Now you're the president. If you could allow her to give her speech.
Yeah, it was a message in the WhatsApp that she will deliver the HPL project, Mr. President.
Yes.
See, table topic has to start at 10:15 and we are at 10:08. I think time is already, there's no much time. How much time you will take, Mubina, for your speech?
5 minutes. Just an introduction.
Just to introductions?
Yes.
And
just an introduction.
so then there is no evaluation for you.
Yeah, this is just an introduction.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, do it.
Yeah,
Okay,
Mr. President, we have 7 minutes. The table topic have to start at 10:15. So we have few moments. So
even though we are going to call her as a second speaker, okay?
Yeah, we are going to. We have the time, yes. So, fellow Toastmaster, with a very quick note, I will call upon Toastmaster Mubina Rauf for her project of HPL. Toastmaster Mubina Rauf, stage is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Unless you try to do something beyond what you have mastered, you will never grow. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, good morning. In addition to working as an English literature and English as a second language teacher, I have been working in my university in the academic initiatives unit, which is a part of academic affairs. And this has been going on for quite a few years now. This unit, the academic initiatives unit, was created with the vision for the university to be a distinct regional director for academic excellence. And we work on new ideas and approaches towards university education. And many of these have been turned into projects and implemented in different departments and colleges of the university. And recently we have come up with new ideas and approaches towards the graduation projects of undergraduates, which they usually do maybe in the beginning or during the 3 or 4 years they study, or at the end of their studies. The initiative is to make a flexible framework that suits all departments and colleges for that graduation project. And I have been asked to head the project along with 3 more teammates. Now, firstly, why we are doing it. Like the mission is that this initiative aims to align with the best practices and mechanisms for the completion of graduation projects that combine both theoretical and practical aspects of community service. And the unit's values are responsibility, support, and innovation, most important. Our goal is to develop uniform policies and procedures for all the colleges regarding the graduation projects and to automate this initiative on an online platform, and to prepare a comprehensive guide for students, like a kit for students in each college, which includes mechanisms and models to do the projects, and then to encourage students to publish after they complete their projects, and to be able to derive benefits from their projects at the community level. And now, how do we plan to work on this initiative? The first step is a background study, which entails an exhaustive study of how this is done in the top international universities. The end product of this will be a document that would include the KPIs and the rubrics to evaluate performance. And after that, we will prepare a user-friendly kit or guide that is suitable for throughout the university for all colleges and departments, whether they are health colleges, engineering, humanities, or social sciences. Now, what will go into this kit? The first thing is application, how it will be applied. The first thing is preparation. We will ask the department or the college to make an advisory committee and then conduct a comparative study of best practices and what at present is going on in the college, and then plan about how they will do it, and maybe change the guides that we have made into their own context. And then the last thing, the next step will be monitoring and controlling from our side. And that includes, again, encouraging graduation projects which are linked to the market needs, and then measure the KPIs. The last thing will be the documentation, which is the preparation of the final report of the initiative, and present our achievement in front of the university council, and then also prepare a future plan, what changes are needed and what more we can do in this project. So that is our plan and I will be working with a team of 3 more people. And this is an introduction to my HPL project. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mubina Rauf. As for this project, we are not going for the evaluation. So we'll move to the next segment. So fellow Toastmasters, today, as you know, we are talking about black holes. The black area of the black hole is deemed to be considered as a vacuum. But do you know that it is actually not a vacuum? It's a constant pursuit of matter, antimatter combining together, doing a kind of a fusion reaction all the time, and mass going into anti-mass, and that continues till the life of the black holes. And some of the normal asteroid level of black hole, which are equal to the mass of sun, can live up to tons of millions of years. The biggest black hole in our universe we know is S500 plus 18, which is 40 billion times bigger than the sun. The Toastmaster today, who's going to lead us in the table topic, is none less than the biggest mass in the meeting today. I didn't see Toastmaster Farooq with us. Is anybody else is going to lead the table topics today? May we request a guest to lead that one, Mr. President? I can see Toastmaster Zaid with us. I think we lost Mr. President as well.
Thank you, Toastmaster Khurram, but as I'm connecting from my office and anytime I had to go to the meeting, so it will be
That
very
will be difficult.
challenging, yeah, to
No
conduct the
worries at all.
session.
So I saw Toastmaster Umar Farooq was with us, and I don't know, maybe due to some technical glitch, it left down. Toastmaster Imran Rana, do you like to take that role of the table topic master?
Okay.
Impromptu.
Yes.
The impromptu means impromptu table topic master as well.
Okay. So, fellow Toastmasters and guests, as a table topic master, I'm giving you some extempore topics, and you have to speak for about 1 to 2 minutes. And I'll timing the session also. So, Toastmaster Mubina Rauf, could you please announce the word of the day? I'm actually struggling with the pronunciation.
Just a minute. The word of the day is erudite. Erudite.
Okay.
Yes,
So,
erudite. It is an adjective which means having or showing knowledge or learning.
Okay. Okay, great. So my first topic to Toastmaster Khurram Said Chishti. Toastmaster Khurram Said Chishti, are you ready?
As always.
Great. The topic is what next? What next? Toastmaster Khurram Said Chishti. Word is arrow.
Dite.
Erudite.
Erudite.
Erudite. The stage is all yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. What next? This is the question my wife is asking me right after the district championship going on. I mean, first of all, you're not free from the office. 24/7 you are working. And then on the top, Saturday 7 in the morning is the Toastmaster meetings. And then you are 6 months busy or 4 months busy in the district competition. And then you are saying, I'm going to do another course. What next? I mean, give me a break. Do you have a time for us? Even last night, my son come and told me, Baba, do you have some time for me also? No, all the time is there for you. But what you're going to do next? And then my mother is coming to visit us, and I told my son, see, this time my mother is coming, and I will not give you any chance to sit with your grandmother. I will use all her time. And he laughed and he say, do you have time even for her? Because you are going to do something next. So I am thinking myself that I have too many nexts and I need to reduce those nexts, and I need to do some erudite thinking on that. And let's think what next, because the next is a next speaker for you, table topic master. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Khurram Said Chishti, for such a wonderful speech. Now, moving on to our next speaker. Can I have Toastmaster Umar Shahid with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Your topic is the door burst open and the lady rushed towards you. The door burst open and the lady rushed towards you. Word of the day is erudite. The stage is all yours.
Just to clarify, did the lady rush towards me or towards you?
If I'm asking, that means she is rushing towards you.
Okay. It was just a normal day. Good evening, first of all. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. It was just another day when me and my family went to Mall of Zahran. Now, I had exited the perfume shop just a while ago. Now, as you know, most of the Saudi people over here wear clothing that seems more like a uniform, which I'm wearing today as well. A plain white thobe, which does not let you differentiate between one person and another. As I exited the store, my wife said, "Are you sure you did not leave anything inside?" I turned back. And as I turned back, the door rushed open and the woman was running towards me. "Stop that guy, stop that guy. He's the one who stole our perfumes." And I'm like, "Lady, I just paid for the perfume right now. I have the receipt in my hand." She immediately apologized after realizing what she had done. And she said, "I'm so sorry. That was another guy with the same height, with the same beard. And of course, everyone wears white here. So I couldn't recognize you." I said, "That's okay. That's a common mistake made by people over here. And another mistake that most of the people make are with women as well. I mean, do I have to mention that how many times I accidentally said to another lady, 'Should we go home now?' Considering that she was my wife." But these mistakes are common. And you don't have to be, even if you're an erudite scholar, you will make such mistakes in a culture where clothing is very much similar. This was my story of when the lady opened the door and rushed at me. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day. Table topics, Master.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Umar Shahid. Now I would request my last speaker, and who is DTM Saf Sheikh. Can we have you with us?
Yes, I'm with you after struggle.
I hope your struggle is over.
Yes, my struggle is over.
Great. Okay, your topic is
Okay, my topic is
not silent, please. Okay, your topic is your first crush is more deeper than the black hole? Is your first crush is more deeper than the black hole? And the word of the day is erudite. The stage is all yours.
thank you very much. Yes, Mubina, you are saying something?
Yeah, I just wanted to correct myself. Thanks to Toastmaster Umar Shahid. It's erudite or erudite. It's not O, it's erudite or erudite.
Okay, the word of the day is erudite.
Yes.
Okay, the black holes and the first crush. I think I'm in between somewhere, not the crush and not in the black hole, but I really inspired from today and I learned a lot about the black hole. And analogy of black hole is also a love. So Toastmaster of the day started with the black hole, and our keynote speaker is telling different thing about the black hole. I totally agree about the black hole. Black hole is a very tiny particulars or the atom, what TMOD said about it, and you need a magnified instrument to see the atoms. But believe in me, we are all by ourselves is a black hole. The whole, we have to explore ourselves. The whole that we have to attract others to join the hand together. The whole that we have to live all together and enjoy the life. Over to table topic master.
Thank you so much for such a wonderful speech. Now, this brings to our table topic session comes to an end, and I would like to hand over the charge back to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Khurram Said Chishti.
Thank you, table topic master. Dear fellow Toastmasters, as we have seen and learned today, all about black holes. It could be as small as an atom equal to the size of the mountain. It could be as big, more big than our sun, and have tons and billions of size than a sun as well. And these are an amazing creation of God, which scientists are still trying to understand much more about that. And as we learned today about the analogy and other things on that, I hope you enjoyed the idea of black holes. And with this, I will call a guy who will do a bit more of a scientific work today on our meeting. He is the eyes, ears, and nose of the meeting and sensing everything which is going on nice and fishy about this meeting. It is none other than our journal evaluator, Toastmaster Imran Rana.
Thank you once again, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My evaluation about today's meeting is that when I was just part of the WhatsApp group of Quantum Leap, every time I received messages from DTM Talha, the VP Education of this club, and he said that, okay, before start my general evaluation, I should ask for the role players, right? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So this part consists of taking reports from the facilitators, and after that I'll give my brief evaluation. So let me call first the language evaluator. She is none other than Toastmaster Mobina Rauf. So Toastmaster Mobina, the stage is all yours.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. The word of the day was erudite, which was used by DTM Saif Ali Sheikh and DTM Umair Rana. It's an easy word. We can use it in our conversation, especially with reference to Toastmasters. So I would encourage all of you to use it. Starting with this, the meeting, the good and not so good usages. There's nothing not good. I'm really impressed by the ideas of this speech. It was a novel thing to bring black holes into a Toastmasters meeting. The keynote speaker had an excellent array of sayings. Love is like a black hole, which is a discovery, and love is like oxygen in the air, noticed only by its absence. This is so deep. The singularity of a black hole, and it was all about love. The gateway of new universe is love, and density to destiny through love. And the word which has which I was introduced to today is event horizon, the point of no return. Very interesting. And then stellar. I found that movie very interesting, which is stellar is second name for black holes, as our Toastmaster of the day told us. Now coming to Umar Shahid, I also did the same as your evaluators. I was so engrossed in the speech that I forgot that I had to note a few things from the speech. An excellent speech. And the poetry was superb. You have compared matched the general evaluator to the terminator. And when even birds are afraid of their first flight, you were not afraid at all. You're so confident. And in Toastmasters, we are all the same, no race, no religion, nothing. It's one big family, and many, many words. And I like the conversational style of your speech. Again, coming back to black holes, black area of a black hole is a vacuum, which is actually not a vacuum, said by our Toastmaster of the day and our champion speaker. And coming to table topics, superbly done with such an impromptu thing. Within a few seconds, DTM Umair Rana had topics, and the most interesting one was, is your first crush deeper than black holes? Back to you, General Evaluator of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mobina Rauf, for your role. I'll quickly go with the timings. Our keynote speaker was DTM Ali Asha Anjum, and he had a time slot from 18 to 20, sorry, for his speech, 15 minutes, and for Q&A session, it was 5 minutes. But our keynote, since the topic was so interesting, and he ended up in 18 minutes, and the Q&A session took 10 minutes. So the total time taken by the keynote speaker was 28 minutes. All the table topic speakers, they were within time, since I was the timing, and most of the speakers ended up between green and yellow light. Now I would like to go briefly with my general evaluation. Since I was a part of this WhatsApp group, and I never attended the Quantum Leaps meeting, and every time I found DTM Talha's message that it was an amazing meeting, we nailed it, and a masterpiece meeting. I was thinking that now I can say that DTM Talha was 100% right, that Quantum Sleep meetings are one of the best meetings in Toastmasters, in all the Toastmasters club. We started with a wonderful keynote speech, destiny versus the density. It was quite thought-provoking and quite deep. And then an amazing icebreaker speech by Toastmaster Umar Shahid. That's a master blaster, what I can say. And the evaluation segment was quite spot on, and quite valuable suggestions were provided. The only area of improvement would be that if we could manage the role players before the meeting, and we could have all the role players on board before the meeting start. Overall, wonderful meeting. I'm speechless. The amazing speeches and the keynote speeches and the responses on the table topics, that was icing on the cake. So with that, I would like to hand over the charge back to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Khurram Said. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Journal Evaluator. What a great detailed evaluation, Toastmasters. And that's what we always need, because to sharpen the saw, we keep doing it with practice, we check and adjust, and we move on, because this is not a target to achieve, but a journey to move on. Now we are reaching to our end. Before the end, I would share my passions toward black holes. Black holes always passionate me, and to my very surprise, when my son knows last night that today I have a Toastmaster meeting and the topic is black holes, I was very surprised that to some extent he knows even better than me on the black holes, and he did his own studies on the black holes. And today the things I shared with you, half of them is coming from him. So one day, I hope so, that as a human, as we know more of our moon and Mars surface than our water surface on the earth, there will be a time come where we know what is on the other side of the black holes. That's why it's a black hole, because we don't know what's on the other side. So with this passion and with this hope that soon we will know what is on the other side, I hand over the task to President of the club, DTM Saif Ali Sheikh.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Forum Sayyid Chishti. What a wonderful meeting you have conducted today. And it's a totally learning and education sessions. And the credit goes to Toastmaster Forum Sayyid Chishti. It's not a matter that how many members are attended, it's a matter how we conducted and how we get benefited from our presence. And that is a Quantum Leap Toastmaster Club. You cannot compare Quantum Leap Toastmaster Club with other clubs. The formation is a different, participation is a different, learning is a different. May I ask Mubina, I'm right?
Absolutely, DTM sir. I really enjoy each and every meeting, whether there are 6 members present or 20 members. It's really enjoyable. Start the day. My day starts at early, quite early, considering that it's a Saturday. But I'm willing to sacrifice my morning for such an interesting session.
That's great, Toastmaster Mubina. I know you, I think, from the last more than 2 decades.
Yes.
Toastmaster Umar Shahid. Toastmaster Umar Shahid. Unmute yourself.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm here.
How you get the passion to write the poetry?
How did I get the passion to write? Well, initially, to be honest, and as I said, in grade 7, that was just a simple Mother's Day competition. Not competition, but just, you can say, a thing that we had to write, and I decided to write something. And after that, in university, as I mentioned in my poem as well, mainly I was inspired to write Islamic poetry. And out of, I have almost 40 pieces by now. And out of those 40, more than 30 are based on Islamic themes. So this was my personal passion, that I wanted to give the message of Islam in a modern way to the youth, because we have a lot of people who are giving good, telling good things, but unfortunately they're not connecting that well with the youth. Since I was from that background, in coming from a university, studying engineering and seeing what's happening around, I thought that maybe if we deliver the same message in this positive way, maybe the youth will listen, and it actually works. So then I started, and obviously I think I feel I'm more of an observer and a thinker. And if you're that kind of person, then you will find very strange things in maybe what people seem to have nothing amazing in them, like going on a silent road at 100 kilometers away from my city. I would just stop and start writing something and then go. So this is just me, you can say.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Omar. Let me ask Shah Gul Sheikh, please. Unmute yourself. Toastmaster Shah Gul, are you a guest or the member or the Toastmaster? Toastmaster Shah Gul, you are with us. No, Shah Gul is not here. Fellow Toastmaster, do you have anything, any questions to ask? If none, next week we have a regular meeting of the month of June, because the next Saturday is the second Saturday as per our schedule, and today meeting is a leave of the previous month meeting. By this, I adjourn the meeting. Have a nice day ahead of you. Enjoy the time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum assalam.